In order for AI to really be useful in my business, I needed to have deep context into my client, into my projects. If I'm writing advice or drafting a contract, it's one thing if AI can just write something generic, but it's something totally different if it understands the context I already know about this client, that they're buying a thing and selling a thing and also have another business and their family member is involved. What we're doing so far is we're giving it a lot of context by describing. We're using tools that help us speak to text, and so we can talk about it rather than type. And we bring in context blocks, the documents that we've written that explain this project or this client, and all sorts of other documents to give it context. But this is clunky, and this is not the future. The future is our main AI tool having access into all our different systems and being allowed to go and look in all of them when it needs to find information about the project or the client or whatever it is that we're working on. So let me show you what it looks like. So here I ask my AI, what's my next meeting today? And it looks through my calendar and it says your next meeting is this. And they have this outstanding invoice, this client. And I go find me details on this invoice in my accounting app. It searches my accounting app and it comes back with details on that invoice. So what we've seen here is that I asked the AI one question and it went to my calendar to check. And then I asked another question and it went into my accounting app. So imagine that my AI has access to different systems and it can go and look at them and find the relevant information based on what we're working on. That is what deep context looks like. How does that work? Let me tell you how it works, and then I'll tell you what's mature and what's still emerging. So how it works, you'll hear people talk about MCP servers. All we need to know is that MCP is a new standard, and every app that creates an MCP server enables AI to come and ask it questions about its data and also do things in its data. So the app could be Xero or QuickBooks Online or your file management system or your Outlook for emails and calendar or your Google Gmail for email and Google Calendar. All those different apps, they're all setting up their MCP servers. And then my main AI, ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot or Claude or Perplexity or others, can connect through that MCP server and ask these apps questions about their data or ask them to do things with the data. It can ask for emails and then it can ask for more details on a particular email and then it can ask to create an email. The same with invoices and the same with files in my file management system or tasks in my task management system. So MCP is like the USB of the AI world. If an app has an MCP server, it has a USB connector. This universal connector that any AI can come and ask it questions and ask it to do things securely. So can we go and connect everything right now? No, not yet. You may have noticed that I used Claude here, and I really wanted to demonstrate this with Microsoft Copilot, but the connectors with Microsoft Copilot are still a bit clunky. I spent a bit of time trying to set it up. I then paid a developer to spend 2 days trying to figure it out, and they came back and said, look, there's all these forums where others are talking about it. It just doesn't work yet. This is, by the way, the pioneer tax. This is what happens when we try to use things when they're very new and may not be ready. So I ended up using Claude because it's much easier with Claude to set up connections into other systems at the moment, and Copilot is just a bit clunky. Those of you with sharp eyes also noticed that when Claude asked the question on Xero, we didn't see the Xero logo, we saw the Zapier logo. Again, because Xero still don't have a hosted MCP server, so I would have to set it up myself, and I don't want to, so I did it through Zapier, and that introduces other issues that it's quite limited in what it's able and not able to do. So what am I trying to say? Well, I'm saying that this is still emerging, but I want you to know that this is where things are going, so that if people come and suggest to build all these complex things for you that will feed all your data and make it available to AIs, I wouldn't invest in such things right now because it's going to become really easy. When you should start using them? When you see those little options in any of your AI apps, they go connector, add a connector, and it will be a click and set up the connection. That's when it's becoming mature and you should start using it. And that's going to happen very quickly. In ChatGPT, you already find them for Outlook and for Canva and some of the other apps. Same with Claude. Copilot, a bit slower, you still need your admin to do that, and that's a good thing because we don't want anyone in the business just connecting apps. And if you want to link this back into our conversation around when will AI actually do the tax return or write the contract or comment on the thing for me, well, we talked about 3 bridges. The first was playbooks, the second was deep context, and the third was hands to do things. What we're talking about today, these connectors, they impact deep context and they impact hands because they work on getting information for the AI from apps and also asking the apps to do things. Write an invoice, update a document, create a task in my task list. And if you want to do some more work on this with me and ask questions live and experiment together, there are a few things coming up. Go to inbal.com.au/events or just reply to this email and maybe I'll come work with you in your firm. See you soon!